exciting. So Sarah is from Synergy, which I think is such a good name, Synergy 16. And what really impressed me is she's going to talk today about arts and media. And we can think of, well, okay, how's that going to fit into my child? If you have a child, out of experience, I can definitely tell you, if you have a child that has speech and language problems or difficulties, or maybe just a little bit, needs a little bit more self-confidence, this is exactly the lady to go to. Because drama, arts, anything, media, all that really help children to gain confidence and to help themselves to just get themselves into society and speak clearly and correctly and just carry themselves. And Sarah herself started at the age of 10 to do some drama and art. And Sarah, I'm very, very excited to hear what you're going to say. So let's give Sarah a warm welcome. And she's going to give us
It's a good start, isn't it? Hello, good afternoon. How is everyone today? Right. Good bit of energy in the room? Woo! Okay, excellent, excellent. So, I am Sarah Pemberton, and I am the founder of Synergy 16, which is a creative consultancy and a business network. And it's interesting that I'm not a parent, and I won't ever be, don't choose to be, and I'm not a carer per se. But one thing we all have in common, we all have had parents, and we'd all like to be thought of that we care, and someone cares about us. Now, how does this all fit in with what I do with the arts? I was very lucky. When I grew up, I was 10 years old. I actually started my very first little performance when I was 5 in Nativity at church. And then I was 7 playing Gretel in Hansel and Gretel at school. And I was very fortunate to be invited to go along and audition at the Beck Theatre in Hayes. And I got into Oliver. And that for me was me, set. That's what I was going to do for all of my life. I was going to be an Oscar-winning actress. And that was my thing. Every single year, I did several performances. I've done 20-odd musicals, and later in life I got on to performing in the London Palladium and the Royal Festival Hall. And the thing that just carried me through was just, I just wanted to keep doing what I love. And that is something that I believe is very, very important. And I personally have done a lot of training in doing what I love. And I think that is what we should be doing as parents, as aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins. We should be there encouraging people to be doing what they love. Now, what is it to be a parent? Something that I've come to think of is about being a mentor, being a guide, leading by example. And that's something that I'm very passionate about. I don't believe in doing anything unless I do it for myself first, which is not easy. You don't always have the resources, the skills, the talent to be doing that. But if you have that conviction, things will start to be coming to you to help you be doing what you love. So what is being a mentor as a parent, as an adult, to children? I believe, and it is only my belief, only can one choose what they believe, and that is about being someone that can help someone evolve, expand, and elevate. And that is one of my mottos within my business. And how can we help children evolve, expand, and elevate? And the one thing for me that I find so important when being with children and understanding what they want is to be listening to them. Listening is the most important thing. But how does that listening come about? How does that listening come about? Well, quite often when children do something wrong, we'll have a go at them, we'll shout at them, we'll send them to the room. But hello? Oh, there you go. Being on the edge, you can probably still hear me. You send them to their room, you tell them off, you shout at them, but why did that child behave that way? And that's exactly the question, why? Ask the child, why did they do that? What were they feeling? What were they trying to express? And something that I came up with not so long ago, I was walking down the street and it was like an epiphany. And I said to myself, you know what, we all believe and understand or kind of understand the concept of unconditional love. But what about unconditional space? If we have love that we want to share, give or receive, if there's no space for that to actually go into, it can't exist as easily. If you think about it, your heart is here. And if someone comes up right close that you're not sort of familiar with, that could be a bit sort of conflicting. But if you can open your heart and create a space that goes all the way over there, someone can step into that space. And that's when your connection starts happening. And then slowly you can collapse that time between the edge of that space and the space that's up close. And that's something I really believe we should be giving children more space to express themselves, to be heard. Why are they playing up? Now, it's not always going to be easy to facilitate what a child wants to be doing, but having that conversation in the beginning, it could then lead to opportunities. And, you know, when you're just open to receiving, all of a sudden, someone could come into your life that you weren't even thinking about, be like, oh my God, I need you right now. You've just like appeared in my periphery as if it's magic. And a lot of magic happens when we start listening. Now, in a weird way, I'm not actually that close to my parents, but later in life, I've chosen to get to know them better. And the circumstances that allowed me to do that was I actually moved back home for a little bit. And it was weird, that space between myself and my parents, because you'll never stop being the child. Your parents will never stop being a mother and father. But how do we want to be conscious with those relationships? And one thing I truly believe is that expression through drama, dance, singing is a great way to feel freedom within yourself. And, you know, you don't necessarily need to be spending money going and doing singing and dancing. A lot of the time, as adults, we lose our own inner child, our own inner kid, our own sense of play and fun. And we lose the innocence because it all gets knocked out of us, because we have routine and sometimes we think mundane lives. But then if we start looking at what we truly have and feeling that appreciation, but one, that we can breathe, that we've got a roof over our heads, that we've got food on our tables. When you have all of those elements brought to the surface, you're like, wow, I've got a lot to give. And again, that's about leading by example. Showing that child that, look what we've got. We've got so much. And we've got each other as well. And so get down with those kids. Get playful. Have a sing-song. Put YouTube on together. Have a dance in the living room. And it could feel a little bit awkward at first. But after a time, it will become more natural. And your child and you will become more close. I've got an initiative that I'm working towards called Wonder World, where I want to take low-income families, get them to this beautiful kind of forest full of fairies and magic, and help the parents with the children, bring all the camp together, activities, workshops, and it's really about having the parents get back to their child, their playfulness, their freedom to express. Because when a child sees that parent being happy and fun, well, I want to be like that. I want to be like mum and dad, happy. You're leading by example. And it's so easy to be like that. Now, of course, life can get in the way. Things can go wrong. But you know what? When you realise that there's always a solution, your creativeness says, you know what?
It doesn't matter that it didn't work out first time. It doesn't matter that we did everything we could to get this in place. But you know what? Someone came in and knocked everything over. But when we can stay calm and vertical, and we say, you know what? It doesn't matter, because we can fix it. We can get back to a path. It doesn't matter when things go wrong. So what I'm sort of getting to is that, yes, art is a fantastic thing, drama, singing, but it's all just comes down to, ultimately, having the freedom and the room to express who you are and what you feel, and feel that you have that space to say how you feel, that you've got the right to be heard, and your feelings to be known. How much time have I got? 1 minute. Oh, well, there you go, I've got 1 minute left. So basically, I just want you to think about, when you go home this evening, what could you do that's fun with your child? Get really silly with them. Get really silly with them and say, what do you want to do that's fun? And there's not quite what you can do. Say, well, how about we do this or how about we do that? Just have a little conversation. And if they don't want to do it, just say why, and open up the conversation and just get really playful. Get playful with the children. And that's it for me. Thank you very much.